This next person coming to the stage, one of my favorite storytellers in Busted. She's been doing our shows for a couple years now. She's from Russia. Just got back from Russia, like today? Yesterday, just to do this show. And all these international storytellers in Echo Park. It's amazing. She has a terrific blog on Facebook called Tales from the Bus, which has all these anecdotes about stories on the buses and the trains in Los Angeles, and now really all over the world. People just throw their stuff on there. And it could be a story that takes place on like the 780 or the 181, and you have people from all over the world putting their little input. Like in Scotland, we wouldn't stand for that. And we'd take him off the bus, put a thistle in his face. No, they don't say that. maybe when they're drunk. I say it. I'm going to put it on there. But, okay, now I'm trailing off. This next person coming to the stage is one of my favorite Busted storytellers. She has a wonderful blog on Facebook called Tales from the Bus. Please give a hand, all the way from Russia, Katya Duft.
Thank you, Scott, for this lovely introduction. So, just like you say, yeah, last night I got back from Russia, so I can't help sneaking a couple of Russian public transit stories in, because everything is just so different in Russia, you can't believe. Anyways, I took a lot of train in Russia, and I used to live there, right? But in the last 12 years I've lived here, so I lost all the habit. And I mean, people just don't talk on Russian trains, right? They just don't. People just keep to themselves. They're very cold. There is no small talk. There are no smiles. There is no, how's your day? What have you been doing? I mean, people just don't talk unless it's a guy who wants to flirt with a girl, right? But what is also different on Russian trains is every 3 to 5 minutes, a train vendor would walk past you and try to sell you something. Most of the time it's something really unnecessary, but they try really hard with marketing. They would be like, I know you drank last night. I know you drank a bowl of vodka last night. Why don't you buy my meat pies? By the time you get to work, you'll be done with a hangover. Or they'll be like, it's really cold outside. I know you probably can't afford new shoes or new boots. Why don't you buy my wool socks? So the marketing is amazing. But it's also extremely annoying when every 5 minutes somebody just invades your space trying to sell you some shit. So people actually start talking only when there is a vendor walking by. And the vendors are so used to it, they actually always have a very sharp comeback. So just last week I was traveling by train when this lady was walking down the aisle advertising some kids' toys. And she was saying, these toys are really safe for a child, they are hypoallergenic, so it's really safe, so buy my toy and your child will never get into any trouble. So there was a guy who found this vendor cute, because she was a cute young lady, so he grabbed her by the sleeve and he goes, so, do you have any hypoallergenic condoms by any chance? My girlfriend insists on me wearing them, but I'm allergic to them. This is random, right? So most people would probably get really confused, and she goes, you know what, all of you guys use it as an excuse. None of you are really allergic to condoms, you just don't like wearing them, right? So people just start cracking up, and he has no answer to that. He is like, oh, oops, shouldn't have said that, right? But also what happens a lot on Russian trains is performing arts. People just come in with a guitar or a keyboard and they start playing. And most of the time it's really bad, like really bad. Like if my skills were that bad, I would be ashamed to even show up in front of any audience and try playing or singing. But just 3 days ago I was on a train and this guy comes in with a guitar and I was sitting my back to him and I had no idea. I thought, oh, it's just probably another of these terrible singers. And he starts playing and it's a very famous song. I think it's an American or British old song, but he slowed it down, made it sound really pretty and touching, and he wrote Russian lyrics for it, so I was really touched. So I started clapping, and I was the only one in the whole car, because Russians just don't react to arts on the train. They think like, why should I react to a stupid performer? So I was clapping like, yay, good job, awesome, nice, play another one. And people were looking at me like, who are you, weirdo? So he was very excited, so he comes to me and says, "Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Nobody ever claps on the train. This is amazing. But I can't buy any food with your applause. Why don't you give me some money?" I started digging in my pockets, looking for change and feeling embarrassed because at least 20 people stare at me like, "Why are you even dealing with it? Why were you clapping? People don't behave like this on a Russian train." So I finally found like $2, gave it to him, and he left happy. So that's just a completely different universe. And I can't even explain to you why Russians are so different on public transit. I think it's because you can drink on a train. So, yeah. So, I mean, if you get all friendly with a drunk person, they'll probably think, "Oh, okay, let's give you some trouble." And also, in case of trouble, it's really hard to call the police or any security. So that's why people keep to themselves, because they want to avoid any kind of trouble. So anyways, I was in Russia for a month. And I missed certain things about LA and America in general. Who's crying? Nobody's crying? I hope not. In any case, I missed certain things that are very random. For example, Starbucks with all the misspellings of our names. Because my mom lives in a small town, so it's really hard to find good coffee or even bad coffee. But anyways, what happened to me right before I went to Russia, I went to Starbucks. And my name's Katya, so I guess certain people find it difficult to spell. So I get my coffee, I have no idea how it's spelled, I get on the bus, I drink it, and there's a man in front of me and he is kind of staring at my cup and he goes, "I have a random question for you." Okay. He's like, "Are your parents by any chance fans of baseball?" "No, why?" He's like, "Okay, are you parents by any chance fans of J.D. Salinger?" Why? Why are you asking all these random questions? No, my parents are Russians. They are not Russian. They are not fans of any of this. But like, why? He's like, "Okay, look at the way your name is spelled on the cup." So I turn it, and okay, what do you think was the spelling of my name on the cup? Catcher.
Oh.
And I started laughing. I'm like, "No, my name is Katya. I guess that's how the person in the coffee shop heard my name." But it's hilarious because I've never had it spelled this way, right? Katya and catcher is nothing in common. So I mean, I guess it wasn't his pickup line or anything. He was just genuinely impressed. He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Did your parents want a boy? Did your parents like? What did they try to tell us with that name?" I'm like, No, it's completely misspelled. Don't worry about it." But yeah, among the things I didn't miss in Russia was, I guess, Scientologists approaching me around. 2 days before I left for Russia, I had this amazing thing happen, and I thought it was hilarious. You know, like everybody knows about Scientology and Dianetics and all of that because we live in LA. But I guess certain older Armenian ladies kind of stay oblivious to that. So I was standing at a bus stop on Vermont and Hollywood, Vermont, and this young man in a suit comes up to this older Armenian lady. And he tries to give her a little brochure or a little piece of paper that says Dianetics or whatever. And when he comes up to her, she tries to read it, but she has no glasses on, so she reads and she says, "Diabetes? What the fuck? I don't have diabetes!" So she tries to read it. He's like, no, this is not diabetes. This is Dianetics. She's like, "I have no diabetes. Why didn't you even come up to me? Is it because I'm fat? Why have all people that come up to me? I have no diabetes. This is fucking insulting. Go away." He's like, no, I wanted to invite you. Like, "I told you I have no diabetes." So she goes around the corner and she just stands there like hiding. And most of the people at the bus stop, they just can't help laughing. So the poor guy just turns around and walks away. Because I guess that's too much for him. But this is amazing that there are still people who don't know about it. So those are all my stories for today. Thank you.